Hi everyone, Ree here, and I'm about to tell you all about Leos in a nutshell. So, Leos, one thing, if you're a Leo, you're so hot. I don't know how you guys do it. You are one of the most attractive signs, honestly. It's hard to meet a Leo and not feel like there's some magnetic energy pulling you towards them. There's something irresistible about Leos in general, and they've got amazing hair. I don't know how the planets and stars and everything made that come into play. And even if a Leo is not your typical conventional beautiful or attractive, there's always something about them that just pulls you in and makes you attracted to them. And you guys, Leos are the best storytellers. So expressive. There's so much inside of you. You can take the most mundane story, and because of your natural dramatic flair and your natural expressive self and storytelling abilities and ability to light up a room and connect with people and make people feel excited to be around you, you can make any story interesting. You could tell stories for hours and hours and hours, and as long as people are giving you attention and affection and validating your stories and laughing and super intrigued, you're very satisfied. That's something Leo needs so badly, is validation and affection. Like, it's because it's so natural for Leos to have people gravitate towards them, and to have people probably become maybe a little bit obsessed with them, even just total strangers. So you're like, oh, they're nice, but they think you're the bee's knees. And you kind of love it. Even if you don't, you're like, oh, annoying. You love it. And yeah, it's just so natural for you to be expressive and to be storytellers. You guys make great actors, leaders, because you're so influential. You can convince people of anything. You're like influencers, I'm sure a lot of Instagram influencers are Leos, and it's just, like, you're just sitting in a room and they're like, a lot of people have been asking you about my skincare like procedure, and like, here's the step by step, and you're like, no one asked, but I'm interested, let's do it. And then suddenly you're following their skincare regime. You're like, theirs is amazing, but it's probably just because they're Leos. It probably has nothing, a bit to do with how they take care of themselves, and also because it is a focus. A Leo's phone is probably full of selfies. Leos love catching their reflections in mirrors, and you need validation. You need people to constantly remind you that you're loved, that you are beautiful and fun and exciting and talented. And it's like this constant thirst of like, more, like, give me more. And you feed off of it. And an unevolved Leo can be a nightmare. An unevolved Leo, it does not think about other people, will act out if they're not getting the attention that they feel they deserve. It's not about, oh, like, other people just, it's not like someone just saying, oh, I really just want validation. It's like they deserve it. And so if they don't get it, they don't understand. And so they might pout and misbehave or become dramatic. And if you're saying, like, this doesn't sound like me, and you're a Leo, it's possible that the rest of your chart is much more subdued, and so you seek that validation in much different ways. So you probably seek it from people that are really close to you, or about certain things like your specific talents. It really depends on your chart. So many things can shift that around. But a good example is Madonna's a Leo. And I think that that's like the epitome of Leo. It's just such a star, It's like literal sunshine shining so bright, just such a presence, Leo walks into a room and all eyes are on them. The focus is on them. People want to be around Leos. They naturally bring in friends. But a Leo has to remember, it's like that line from Scream 4 where Emma Roberts is like, I don't need friends, I need fans. Like, don't be that Leo, because a lot a lot of you can get that way, you know, and it's not healthy. And don't forget that other people also need validation and also need to be heard and felt listened to, and your needs are super important, but others are as well. So that's just something to remember with Leos. I have a Leo moon, so I definitely need that validation, especially when it comes to love and the people closest to me, and when there's something that I've really creatively put my input into. Otherwise, I can feel pretty down. And I can be very expressive as well because of my Leo moon, but my Virgo sun overthinks a lot, and just doesn't let me express as much as I want, which can be a good thing and also can be frustrating. And yeah, just so much, like Leos have so much feeling. There's so much that they want to put out there, but they are such influential people. They'd be such incredible politicians because they can convince an entire room that their idea is incredible. They're like, wow, that story is amazing. What a like magnetic human. I want to follow them. Like Barack Obama is a Leo, and I'd say he's a very evolved Leo. And I should have looked at the rest of his chart before talking about Barack, but he's definitely someone who knows how to capture the attention of a room, but in an evolved and mature way. And yeah, there's a lot of really great qualities to Leos. Like a lot of when a Leo is maybe acting out, or an unevolved Leo might be just come off as super narcissistic and self-involved, is because they're seeking validation. Leos need so much validation, and it stems from a place of insecurity, where if they can't find that validation from within, and know their own self-worth, and really just be true to themselves in their own healthy way, which evolved Leos can do. And an evolved Leo is a glorious human, actual bright sunshine. Then it can be really unhealthy. That's the Leo balance. You need to know that yes, you still need validation and stuff, but get it in healthy ways. Take other people's needs into consideration, and find your own ways to like love yourself, so that it's a healthy self-love and not something that comes out of a place of being conceited or too into yourself. And something that's often overlooked from Leos is they can be so generous. They're such generous spirits, and they can come off as extremely self-involved because they're always talking about themselves, but they just feel like there's so much to say, and they're so proud and they're so confident. Even when they're insecure, they still emanate this presence so much, but they can be so generous, and the people that they love so much. Like when you're in a Leo's life and they love you, especially an evolved Leo, that love pours out. They want to give you what they want given to them. They want to give you all of that affection, all of that validation, which can come off as probably overwhelming if you're a more subdued sign and you're like, I didn't ask, I don't need it, it's too much. And they're like, but I have to, because that's their love language, is affection and adoration, and knowing that you think, like a Leo, if you're with a Leo, they have to believe, and you have to remind them that they are the most beautiful, interesting, spectacular humans in the world. Otherwise, they're like, should I just kill myself? Like, what am I doing? So remember that if you're with a Leo. An evolved Leo can be so glorious. Just make sure that if you're a Leo, or if you have Leos in your life that are uninvolved, or if you're not an evolved Leo, that you just take that time to find that love from within, that validation from within, find healthy ways to do that, and also to make sure that there's a balance, so that you're taking other people's needs into consideration. And also, if you're giving someone else too much love and too much adoration, that maybe their love language is different, and maybe they find it overwhelming, even though you, as someone who just feels like you are so used to it. That's how you receive love. So that's how you give love as well. So just be considerate to that. Another thing with Leos that's so crazy is people love giving them things. I don't know what it is. You like Leos, people will just be like, oh, I've got all these amazing clothes that I don't want anymore. And like the Leo didn't ask. The Leo didn't do anything. Or like, oh, I've got VIP tickets to this show. And it becomes so natural for people to want to give Leos gifts in some sort of way, whether it's like, oh, I bought them dinner or whatever it is. It's giving. Leos are so used to receiving, whether it's compliments or gifts or adoration, that it becomes second nature. And just remember to appreciate it. And that there's a lot of people out there where people just randomly giving them gifts and opportunities and letting them climb the ladder because they're so charming and so likable. It's not something that comes naturally to most signs. So just remember that. And we're entering Leo season. So if you are someone who is not Leo-esque and you're a little more subdued and quiet and like to stick to yourself, and attention might not be your thing, you're more of a homebody and you're like, no, I'm okay, Leo season might feel a little overwhelming. But just go with the flow. Use it as a time to work on self-love. Do things that will make you happy and that you can be proud of, and you'll make it through it. So that's Leo in a nutshell. Thanks.